15 and
Warning, this is not intended for one hater, but all haters. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Warning, this is not intended for one hater, but all haters. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters.
call it my battleground. I'm on that center stage where suckers be talking that, but not to my face. Making major moves while them haters boo. Nothing no harder, you
Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon to our East Coasters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The late edition of Cap Nation Live on this beautiful and blessed Saturday morning. Scott K, good morning. It's a good day, gamblers. End of the month. Need to finish strong. Anthony, good afternoon. Cap Nation, and good luck. Good luck to you as well. Everybody else tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cap Nation Live. We're going to be breaking down college football. We're going to be taking a look at Bellator, which starts soon. We're also going to be taking a look at UFC. We're going to have FC on the live show to go over some UFC stuff, as well as a fight pick of the year, which I can't wait for. Definitely pumped about that one. That is for sure. Now, I'm just getting my live chat up where I could actually read it in front of me. Brandon, good morning, sir. Good morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing well. It is going to be a good day. I know a lot of people are like, why aren't you live? There's games going on. There's games. We miss games. Honestly, I didn't like a lot of the morning games. I did not like a lot of the morning games, so I didn't want to waste my time breaking them down with you guys. So we're going to focus in on, now that we have no rush, we're going to be focusing in on the other games that we get to hammer and pound, like games that I think bring us a lot of value and money. Alex, good morning, says, good morning, Keys. He can't wait for the fight pick of the year. FC definitely put in a lot of work for that. Now, I will tell you this. Let's go back to MMA. Let's talk MMA for just a minute. Bellator. If you buy the fight card, you get the max fight pick in Bellator free. Yes, folks. If you buy that stinking card for $29.99, you instantly get the max fight pick free. It's already in your account as soon as you purchase. So if you're not on the UFC max fight pick, or not the UFC, the Bellator. If you're not on the Bellator card, go get the Bellator card. You will get the max fight pick for free. Bellator starts in 15 minutes, but those first handful of fights, you're not going to miss anything on. I will tell you that. The first couple of fights, you're not going to miss anything on, so you have plenty of time to go to the website and get on Bellator, and you'll get the Bellator Max Fight Pick for free. All right? It's a great deal. And then obviously later on this afternoon, we get UFC. We get the UFC Fight Pick of the Year. There is no max, so don't worry if you're on a 3x3, that the max part will get extended. Okay? You're not going to lose out on that. But he's got his monster Fight Pick of the Year. And boy, is he excited. I mean, this kid's running around like a kid in a candy store. All right? He's been bugging me more than you guys. Are you going live? Are you going live? Are you going live? I can't fucking wait. I hope everybody gets on it because this is going to be a big one. I mean, he is going a million miles an hour, running around like a kid with a chicken with his head cut off. All right? Alex says, Kyle, I'm glad you passed on the early games. I also don't like them. Love what you have on your card today. I see money. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to post a link to the fight pick of the year. So if you guys are not on it, you can get on it. Or Bellator. If you're not on Bellator, you can go get on Bellator now. All right? You got plenty of time to make that Bellator money. And I'm going to be honest. He has been mopping up quietly in Bellator. Like mopping up big time. So if you're not on it, you're flat out missing out. It is that good. All right, we're going to get the live odds and the breakdown stuff up on the screen. That way we can start our breakdowns and try to make that money. UConn up 7-0, getting ready to score. Ohio State up 3-0 against Penn State. Houston up 7-0 against South Florida. Holy Toledo driving the ball. Get logged in here, and then we'll start these game day breakdowns. Because we got some money to make. Be able to pop everything up here. This is going to be good today. Notre Dame up 7-0 against 16th ranked Syracuse. Putting up points early in that game. Scrolling past all my NFL stuff for tomorrow. The NFL breakdown should be fun. How about the Niners and the Rams game? Huh? Niners and the Rams game. It's going to be a good game. Packers and the Bills. Aaron Rodgers getting beat 3 straight. All right, let's go to college football. Let's go to college football. I know you guys don't want to talk about the other stuff. All right. So we're going to jump right into a game day breakdown. The first one that we're going to do, it's going to be on the Fighting Illini. Illinois, who's 6-1, 5-2 against the spread, who keep making people money. They're going up against Nebraska, who's 3-4, 2-5 against the spread. All right, that is going to be the first breakdown that we have. Brandon's just thinking about staying away from that game and just enjoying it. If you're a fan, that might be a good game just to sit back and watch. Alex, we've got a play on the game. So I don't want to give away, what we're on, but I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. All right, we are going to get the polls back up. So give me a second, bear with me. We'll get the football polls back up, the best bets poll back up. We'll start all of that. Just adding in the totals here, and then we'll be good to go for it. Scott is already saying the Fighting Illini minus 7.5. All right, so the best bet poll for the game is up there. Post, not only participate in the poll, but post in the comment section what you like as well. All right, are you rolling with the Fighting Illini lane 7.5 on the road? Or are you going to take the old Nebraska and take them plus 7.5? Are you going to roll with the over 50 or the under 50? If you only could select one, what is your best bet of the day for this game specifically? Participate in the poll and then comment down below, and let's see what kind of damage we can do, folks. Now, FC will be on the live show. Just so you guys know, FC will be on the live show here in a little bit. You guys can see what kind of spaz he is this morning, what I've been dealing with. I mean, this guy's been like it all week long. The guy's just a monster. Needs to calm down, settle down. Gonna have a heart attack. William, what's going on, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. Primetime Yoke, good morning. Says Illinois, take the points. Today's going to be a good day. It really is. Besides the fact that I feel under the weather, I'm yawning, I'm tired. Today is still going to be an amazing day. Syracuse tied it up 7-7. South Florida tied it up 7-7. Just going over some other scores. Shane likes the under. Mr. Brackens, what's going on? Brandon says Penn State might hang in this. It's early. It's very early. They might stay in it for like a quarter or two. And then, I hope they do. I hope they beat them. But no, they won't. West Virginia moving the ball against 7th-ranked TCU. They're down to the TCU 12. UConn up 10-0. All right, back to the breakdown. For the ones that are participating in the poll, 38% are rolling with the Illini, 15% with Nebraska, 31% say the over. As of right now, the early votes are leaning towards Illinois and the over, which probably wouldn't be that bad of a thing. However, Illinois is 4-2-1 to the under, 4-2-1 to the under, 4-2-1 to the under. Nebraska 4-3 to the under. Ronaldo, what's going on, man? Nebraska coming off their 43-37 loss over against Purdue. They were a 14-point dog there. They hung strong, covered the spread, and that game did clip the total of 56 by a country mile. Now, the Fighting Illini last game did push on the total. We saw a total of 40 against Minnesota. Some got 39.5 in that game, if you remember, and we cashed by the seat of our pants. But they did get the job done. They were a 4.5-point dog against Minnesota, and they won 26-14. They're on a nice 5-game win streak after week number 2 losing to Indiana, losing 23-20. They came back and they've rattled off 5 straight victories. They beat Virginia, they beat Chattanooga, they beat Wisconsin. They put the beat down on them 34-10. They beat Iowa in a barn-burning 9-6 game. And then obviously Minnesota last week, 26-14. Nebraska averaging 29.7 points a game compared to the 26 of Illinois. Nebraska averaging just 155 a game on the ground, 4.1 yards per carry, as well as 269 in the air, 8.5 yards per passing attempt. You know, how the Fighting Illini are winning games, with offensive numbers where they are. They're, other than the rushing numbers, that's what impresses me on the offense. You know, besides the 26 points a game, they're averaging 200 rushing yards a game on 45 rushing attempts. All right, they're averaging 77 offensive plays, and 45 of them are run plays, where they're averaging 4.4 yards per carry. On the passing game, they're averaging just 216, 6.9 yards per passing attempt, middle of the grade, a little subpar action there. But where they're getting their work done is on defense. Listen to these defensive numbers. They're giving up 8.9 points per game on average. The Fighting Illini's defense is giving up just 8.9 points per game. They're not even giving up a touchdown and a field goal per game on average. All right? Their run defense is giving up just 78 rushing yards a game at 2.8 yards per carry. Their secondary, they're giving up 143 in the air at 4.7 yards per passing attempt. What are they, playing all junior colleges with these numbers? No, they're not. You could add in Virginia, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota. All right? Fairly decent heavy hitters. When you take a look at Nebraska's defensive numbers, they're giving up 31.3 points per game. They're giving up 190 yards a game on the ground, 4.9 yards per carry. That's not a good number if you're facing off against the Fighting Illini that run the ball 45 times a game and average 200 yards a game on the ground. They also give up 281 in the air at 6.8 yards per passing attempt. You want to pass the ball against the Nebraska secondary? By all means, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. You'll have plenty of opportunities. Turnovers. Plus, in the plus category for Illinois at +4, -3. For Nebraska, you've got a 7 turnover differential between the two teams. Favor Fighting Illini. All right? Favor Fighting Illini. Now, Illinois has won the last 3 against the spread against Nebraska. Illinois also 1-0 against the spread on the road after a conference straight-up win. And Nebraska is 7-0-1. 7 wins and 1 push in their last games versus an opponent before having to play Michigan State. Is it a little look-ahead spot here for the Fighting Illini? Are they going to get caught looking a week ahead? I don't think so. I don't think so. Homie, don't play that way, all right? Fighting Illini. Laying 7.5. I like it. But I don't like it as much as if it was 7 or 6.5. I'm just being honest with you. 7.5 is nice, but it's not that nice. All right? It's not that nice. But if you go and you check out the game and you look at alternate spreads or looking at buying it down for a measly, because I see the line at -7.5, minus $1.15. Real champ, yes, Bellator. By the way, timeout. Bellator starts in a couple minutes. If you buy the Bellator card for $29.99, you will get the max fight pick in Bellator free. The first couple of fights, the first handful of fights in Bellator, you're not going to miss anything on. So if you buy it now and you miss 3 fights before you get all your bets in, or 4 fights or 5 fights, you're not going to miss anything. All right, they added a bunch to the card, and as of early this morning, there wasn't even lines available on a few of the bets. So you're not going to miss anything. So go right now, go to the website. Here's the link in the chat, and get on that Bellator card because you're going to get the Bellator Max Fight Pick free. All right, you're going to get the Bellator Max Fight Pick free. There's the link to it. And then when you're there, make sure you get that UFC Fight Pick of the Year because you don't want to miss out on that one. All right, back to the Illini. For a measly 25 cents more, you can take it from 7.5 to 6.5. That I love. Not just like, love. And it's going up in the comment section as a free play. All we did was basically buy it down to 6.5 for a measly 20 cents more. I like 6.5 way more than 7.5. I think 7.5 should cash with ease, but I'm going to be honest, 6.5 really makes me feel good. All right? 6.5 really makes me feel good. So free play, Fighting Illini, a.k.a. Illinois, laying 6.5 minus 135. You are either buying it down 20 cents or 25 cents, depending on where you got the line at 7.5 at. Sometimes it's better to lay a little extra juice to make sure you're cashing tickets and staying profitable. All right. Moving right along, if you haven't done so, please do hit the thumbs up button. I know a lot of you aren't here because we're probably thinking that we weren't live because of the games already starting, but here we are, and we got no rush. All right, we got no rush. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make some money. And we're going to do what we do best. We're going to bounce around. We're going to take a look at some other action. We're going to take a look at the Missouri and South Carolina game next. Missouri and South Carolina coming up next. That's a 4 p.m. Eastern time game, 1 Pacific. Where you catch Missouri catching 3.5 on the road. We better end our straw poll here. Go over that in case we got any other numbers. It's pretty decisive. 42% said best bet of the day is Illinois laying 7.5. The other 38% said the over 50. I do lean towards the over, but I don't have any money on that one. Just being honest on the total. Brandon said I just jumped on it. Kyle, I'm with you. Awesome. Glad. I mean, FC will be glad. I see that there. And I mean, it's going to be a great one. It's definitely going to be a great one. Robert Long, thanks for jumping on board the fight pick of the year. Chad, thanks for jumping on board the Bellator package. Not only do you get the card, but you also get the max fight pick as well. Tyler, thanks for jumping on board 3 days of premium praise. Chris, thanks for jumping on board Guaranteed Saturday. By the way, Guaranteed Saturday, folks, you got until 7:30 Eastern time to get on board, and that is 50% off. It's only $75 for Guaranteed Saturday today, so if you're not on it, That one is going to be a big college football play, so you do not want to miss out on that one. All right, guys, line on Missouri, South Carolina. We'll get the best bet in the poll coming up right now. South Carolina is laying 3.5 with the over and under set at 45.5. There we go. It's in the comment section now. There's your poll. Missouri plus 3.5. South Carolina laying 3.5. Over or under 45.5. If you could only select one, which of those four options would be your best bet of the day? Jumping into it, you got Missouri 3-4 straight up, 4-3 against the spread. And they are on a what? 6 straight game under streak. 6 straight games for Missouri have all gone under the total. Their very first one of the year, which was a 62.5 total against Louisiana Tech, went over as they had 76 points. Other than that, they had a total of 52.5, 56.5, 51, 54.5, 53.5, 49.5. Every game keeps going under, and that total keeps dropping for them. They'll be going up against South Carolina, who's 5-2 straight up, 4-2-1 against the spread. Their last game did go over the total. They are 4-2-1 to the over. South Carolina is 4-2-1 to the over. When you start taking a look at these numbers, and by the way, South Carolina has won 4 straight with their last game against Texas A&M, beating them 30-24. They beat Kentucky 24-14. They beat South Carolina State 50-10, and they beat Charlotte with a beatdown of 56-20. All right, you got Missouri averaging 24 points a game. They're averaging 157 a game on the ground, 4.1 yards per carry. Same average as South Carolina. They're also averaging 207 yards a game in the air at 7.2 yards per passing attempt. When you look at South Carolina, they're averaging 33.1 points a game. They're averaging 141 a game on the ground, as I said already, 4.1 yards per carry. And they're averaging 233 in the air at 7.8 yards per passing attempt. But when you take a look at the defenses, both teams combined give up 48 points. Defenses combined give up 48 points. We get a total today of 45.5. You got Missouri, who gives up 23.1 points a game. They give up 127 a game on the ground. They give up 3.8 yards per carry. They also give up 199 in the air, just a smidge under 200 yards a game, and 6.3 yards per passing attempt. Nearly the same average all the way around for South Carolina, although they do give up a half a yard per running attempt more. They average giving up 24.9 points a game. They give up 168 a game on the ground at 4.3 yards per carry. And then there's their passing defense. They give up 192 at 6.5 yards per carry. Both teams in the big negatives when it comes to turnovers. -4 and -6. So what does that mean? He who wins the turnover battle will probably decide the outcome of this game. All right? He who wins the turnover battle will more than likely decide the outcome of this game. Now, I'm going to be honest. As I scratch the think tanker up there, that home favorite, -3.5, is -105. Moneyline, -170. Missouri, +3.5. Missouri has covered the spread 3 out of their last 4 games. South Carolina is 3-0-1 in their last 4 games against the spread. You've got 2 great teams after their first handful of games, first couple games, 2 to 3 games, that have been covering machines. Favorites are on a 5-1-1 against the spread surge in this head-to-head matchup. South Carolina 8-2 against the spread the last 10 games versus an opponent who is coming off a game with a turnover margin of -3 or worse. Missouri 8-2 to the under after 8-2 to the under after their opponent is coming off a game against Texas A&M. Do they let off the gas? I don't think they do. All right? I don't think that they're going to today. South Carolina's not letting off the gas. They're going to do what they're going to do. Manuel says hit the like button, and I definitely approve and agree with that message. Now, what do I like in this one? Let's just give away some of the farm this morning, all right? Let's give away for the people that have actually tuned in late. I'm hand-picking games that I really like for you guys today. And I like South Carolina, but I like them on the money line. I'll lay $1.70 to have to win by 1 to win the game rather than having to win by 4. I'll do that all day long and twice tomorrow. 10 times tomorrow. Now, I'm not firing huge on South Carolina. Not. But it is worthy of a small free play, like an FC strong lean for a half a unit or a quarter unit. All right? We didn't even add the money line to the straw poll. And that's okay. Let's go over the best bet and see where everybody's lying. 17% have said Missouri. 50% have said South Carolina, laying the 3.5, and 25% towards the over. As far as the over and the under goes, I think this game goes over. I think you can take South Carolina and the over, and you could tease it. You could bet it as a parlay. I think it cashes. I think this game cashes. I think it cashes with ease, and I think it puts money in all your guys' pockets. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second, folks. Almost done. Alrighty. Hold on. And I do apologize. Okay. We're back. And we're ready to rock. And we're ready to roll. Keep those poll numbers coming, and when you're done hitting that poll number, put in the comment section what you like. But it's pretty deciding in this chat. We're rolling with South Carolina and the over on that one. I think 1 vote to the under in that poll. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a couple more breakdowns, and then we're going to call FC. And we'll bring old FC on. By the way, Bellator, you're not missing anything right now other than getting the Max Fight Pick for free. All right? You're not missing anything other than getting the Max Fight Pick for free. Here's the deal. If you're just tuning in, if you buy the Bellator card for $29.99, you get the Max Fight Pick in Bellator with the guarantee. You get it free instantly. So go to the website. I just posted a link in it. And when you're done with that, make sure you get FC's UFC Fight Pick of the Year for $50. That is going to be a monster. And if you didn't watch the daily free play video, I put out there today and today only. And by the way, I already heard about it. I already asked why the fuck I did it. Why did I say it? You know you're not supposed to do that. You know they weren't doing that. I have already heard about it. So if you're not on it, you better fucking take advantage of it. Because I already got my ass chewed, and I know they're gonna be mad at me. Buy 3, get 3 is valid today until midnight. All right, buy 3, get 3 free. Premium plays or personal plays is available tonight until midnight. So Tyler, I don't know if you knew about it, but you bought 3 days of premium plays. You, sir, get it doubled. Anthony, you had the best time to update your account. You bought 3 days. You get 3 days free. It's pretty simple, folks. And I'm going to load you guys up on a bunch of plays anyways. And Anthony, I just updated your account to reflect the buy 3, get 3. Matter of fact, I just updated everybody's account. I went ahead and did it myself to update that. So yeah, buy 3, get 3 free. Buy the Bellator card, get a max fight pick for free. Already gave out 2 free plays. Shane says South Carolina in a teaser. South Carolina in the over is a winner in a teaser. Give me 1 second, guys. I got the sniffles. I've been feeling a little under the weather. Either run down or under the weather, one of the two. Hopefully just run down. All right, didn't want to blow my snoz on the sound on the camera. All right, we're going to roll into another game day breakdown for you guys because we are going to bring on FC here in a little bit. We are going to bring on the battle of the shit versus the shit. If you ask me, we're going to take on and take a look at the Northwestern and Iowa game. Anthony just said, super teaser, Illinois plus 5.5, South Carolina over 32.5, South Carolina plus 9.5, UAB plus 8.5. Money, money, and a lot of dollar signs. Money, 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 money. Raymond, do I like the over in the Cincinnati game? I think they score points in that game. I think it gets close to the. I feel like I got a booger on my nose. I think it gets very close to the total, but I'm not sure if it's gonna go over. There we go. I'll use this camera right here. No bugs. We're good. Just making sure I'm not looking funny with a bug hanging on my face. I think it goes over, Raymond, but I'm not a huge fan of that one. All right, quick little score tracker update. TCU and West Virginia tied. West Virginia 3rd and goal on the 1, looking to punch it in and go up another TD. UConn still up 10-0. Toledo, end of the first, 4th and 7. They are in the red zone of Eastern Michigan. They are down 7-0. Ohio State pulling it away, up 10-0 with the ball. Georgia Tech beating Florida State 3-0. South Florida and Houston. The start of the second quarter, it's 14-14. End of the first in the Arkansas-Auburn game. Arkansas finds himself up by 4, 7-3. And then you got Oklahoma getting ready to put up some points against Iowa State, tied 3-3. Notre Dame, Syracuse tied 7-all. Miami of Ohio looking to score points first against Akron. I expected a lot more points in that game. Miami and Virginia tied 0-0. Real Chimp says, LO, get everything crazy Saturday, Jake Paul or Silva. Honestly, I think everybody in the MMA world is still rooting for Silva, but we know he was hand-selected, all right? Jake Paul's going to demolish him, and believe it or not, I looked at going to that fight, although I'm kind of glad I didn't buy tickets last night because I woke up feeling a little extra under the weather. I thought I was going to feel better, and I was going to go to that. I was going to go to the fights. And decided at the last minute last night, you know what? No, you should just wait. You could buy cheap nosebleed tickets. Get this, $30. There are tickets available for $30. You could actually get floor seats for $500, all right? And that's only because the other cheaper ones are gone. You could actually get some really nice seats for $160. And I mean, Talking Stick Arena, there really isn't a bad seat in the arena. All right, you could actually get for $257, first row on the first section up, right on the one of the walkout sides. So it's, I mean, definitely not an expensive thing to go to. And I thought about it, but I'm just gonna stay home. Just gonna stay home. I'm not even gonna order that fucker. It's not even worth ordering. To be honest, you already know the outcome. You already know the outcome. Jake Paul wins. And then if you guys saw the way, or one of the press conferences, now he's got Silva, who has agreed to be the president of a new organization to try and unify MMA in general. Yeah, that's going to go over real well with Dana White. Ronald says, how about my fighting Phillies? The Phillies. Somebody sent me something that said anytime our country goes into a huge recession and a major financial crash, the Phillies have won the World Series. So honestly, I'm hoping for the Astros. We don't need no financial crash. It's already headed in that direction. I mean, I literally, on my other house, just did a price reduction, matter of fact, last night, of $100,000. I missed the fucking housing market by 2 months on mine being ready to sell and this one being ready to move into. And it probably cost me $150K. So let's hope the housing market doesn't tank. My other house that I just moved from, I just dropped the listing from 1.15 to 1.05. So shit's not looking good, so we need the Astros to win so we don't go into a financial crisis, literally speaking. Literally speaking. All right, guys, you still got time to jump on board Bellator and make it worth it. You haven't missed a single thing yet, all right? Hey, Ronald, you're right. If you don't close the door, it's your own fucking fault. And the Astros left that one wide open and did not seal the deal. Only people to blame are themselves. All right, so while I pop up the next game day breakdown between Northwestern and Iowa, who here and watching the news, this is Barbershop, right? I haven't really paid much attention to it, but the fuel shortage, as the fuel companies are issuing a shortage warning on diesel. Saying that Maryland, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina will be impacted by a diesel shortage. I guess that means I'm going to be driving the Corvette more. That just needs 91. We'll leave the truck at home. Reserves have been depleted and could run out in less than a month if not replenished. It was reported on October 14th that the U.S. only had 25 days of reserves. Ay. Jesus, Jiminy Crickets. All right, so back to the task at hand, and that's Northwestern and Iowa. We're going to put up that new straw poll after I pull up the live odds for this one. And by the way, if you're looking for the game time, this is a 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. You got Northwestern catching 11. I mean, when's the last time Iowa has even scored 11? That's what I want to know, folks. I mean, I could tell you the last time they scored 11. It was a 27-14 loss against Michigan. They're laying 11 with a total at 38. Going up against a Northwestern team that averages 18.6 points per game. Northwestern, 1-6 straight up, 3-4 against the spread. Iowa, 3-4 straight up, 3-4 against the spread. The last 5 games in this head-to-head matchup have all gone under the total. The last 5 matchups have all gone under. Northwestern 11-3-1 against the spread the last 15 games on the road versus a lesser rushing team that averages less than 3.6 yards per carry. And Northwestern is 12-0 to the under before having to play Ohio State, who they get next week, who they're going to get beat down by. All right, Northwestern averaging 18.6 points per game. Iowa, a measly 14. They only average 14 points a game through 7 games, and they're laying 11 today. They've covered the total 3 times, and they've covered 11 points total twice against Nevada and Rutgers. Can they do it against Northwestern? They should be able to. I mean, it's Northwestern. They're 1-6 against the spread, for crying out loud. Northwestern averaging 127 a game on the ground, 3.5 yards per carry. They are averaging 262 in the air at 6.4 yards per passing attempt. Iowa averaging 81 rushing yards a game. A pathetic and measly, and I mean, this is a horrible number. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're averaging 32 rushing plays a game. They're averaging 2.6 yards per carry. Do the math, 81 yards a game on average. 146 a game in the air at 5.5 yards per passing attempt. Damn straight, Ross. All right, let's read those poll numbers before we jump into the defensive breakdown. Northwestern plus 11 is getting 43% of the votes. Iowa laying 11, just 12%. It's actually 50-12 now. Another 25% of voters are rolling with the over as their best bet of this game, and 12% say the under. That's not after many votes. Guys, if you haven't done so, please do hit the thumbs up button. And quick little recap, Bellator. You can get the full Bellator fight card, not lose a penny of anything, because you haven't missed anything of value. But when you buy the Bellator fight card for $29.99, which is ongoing right now, Bellator is on YouTube right now, you will get the max fight pick free, folks. Free. $29.99 for the card. You get the max fight pick in Bellator free. And when you're done with that, go get FC's UFC fight pick of the year, because that is a good one as well. Primetime Yoke says the under. Scott, thanks for jumping on board the Bellator fight pick package. Terrell, as well, thanks for jumping on board the Bellator fight pick package. All right, taking a look at the defensive numbers in this matchup. Northwestern giving up just under 21 points a game. They give up 20.9 points per game. Yards per point. They give up 28.1 points per game. They give up 188 a game on the ground, 4.5 yards per carry. And they give up 221 in the air at 7.7 yards per passing attempt. They're -8 in the turnover department. Iowa, even Steven when it comes to the turnovers. However, they're giving up 16.1 points a game. Defense leading the charge here for them, where they're giving up just 104 yards a game on the ground at 2.9 yards per carry, and 174 in the air at 5.3 yards per passing attempt. 8 turnover differential between the two in favor of Iowa, which is probably where they're giving you that extra edge with having to lay a bigger number. However, Northwestern 2-1 against the spread in their last 3 games. They're turning it on, baby. They've lost 6 straight, riding a bag of ass. Do they get a win today? I think they hold strong. I don't know if they necessarily win, but I don't think they get beat by 12 or more points. I don't think they get beat by 12 or more points. All right? Lean, Northwestern, plus the points. That's my opinion. That is just a lean. I'm going to steer clear of it because I don't like betting on shitty teams. Never have, never will. Sometimes I do, but generally speaking, when I do, I get my ass handed to me. All right? When I bet on shitty teams, I generally get my hand smacked. All right? I get punched right in the fucking mouth. I get 2 fingers to the eyeball. All right? I'm not a fan of betting on 2 shitty teams. And here, scenario, perfect case in point. 2 shitty teams. All right, we're going to take a look at one more, and then we're going to call and bug Dr. 9 Digits. And see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right, just taking a look at a gander at something. All right. Taking a look. The next one that we're going to be breaking down. South Alabama and Arkansas State. South Alabama and Arkansas State is coming up next. That is a 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific. Coming up. Let's get the poll in the comment section. Coach Brown, what's going on? Let's get it in here. Arkansas State +9. South Alabama laying 9. With the total sitting at 52, over and under. If you could only select one, if you could only select one on this, which one would you roll with? Would you take South Alabama and lay the 9 on the road against Arkansas State, or take them +9? Or would your best bet be over 52 or under 52? Take a look at that one. Post up what you like. And then put in the comment section down below what you like. All right? That's what I want to know. And then we're going to bring all FC on to see if we can't do some damage after this one. All right? By the way, guess who's got a fishing trip planned? Next weekend, I get to leave. Next Sunday, after the live show. After the live show, or we'll have the live show from somewhere else. I get to head to Northern California to beautiful Lake Shasta. The shit show will be rolling to the north. I need another coffee. Real Champ says fight pick of the year. Just got it. Love it. Let's make money, y'all. Thank you there, Terrell. Definitely appreciate it. FC will be very appreciative when you do, or since you did jump on it, as well as everybody. Don't forget, guys, Bellator. If you signed up for Bellator right now, even though it's been going on for a half hour, you're not going to miss anything. You will not miss a single thing if you jumped on it. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Lake Shasta. Lake Shasta, Northern California. Got the Pro-Am Championship. Got the invite for the Pro-Am Championship. And very excited for that one. Fishing for a fully rigged bass boat for first place. There'll be only, I think, 80 of us, roughly. And I'm pumped for it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Man, it says you'll be close to Oregon. Right, not far away, brother. Not far away, brother. We will definitely be right there. Alrighty, so let's see here. We got this breakdown rolling. And by the way, premium plays, personal plays, today and today only. It's buy 3, get 3 free. I accidentally slipped up and said it, and I'm rolling with it. And yeah, they're mad at me, but hey, it is what it is. But that's valid today until midnight. You could buy it 100 times, and you'll still get doubled 100 times. Joseph says, if you get the UFC 3x3, does that include the fight pick of the year tonight? No, it does not. Fight pick of the year is separate. Coach Brown says, don't put weights in the fish, right? No. But you know what's funny? Is that just got popular as far as, making its way around public. But in the fishing world, it actually happened back in 2010. A gentleman by the name of Mike Hart from Southern California got caught cheating in the U.S. Open. And believe it or not, I was leading that tournament going into the final day. I was leading on day 1. I was leading on day 2. And on day 3, I ended up slipping until 5th place. But yeah, that guy, that cocksucker, excuse my language, got caught cheating. Better throw a beep in that one. We'll have a delayed beep. But yeah, that guy got caught cheating in that tournament. And he is nowhere to be found. Pretty sad if you got to cheat in a fishing tournament. Especially, Mike Hart was an amazing fisherman anyways. But yeah, don't put weights in the fish. Joseph says, what about the combo package for $300? It says it includes the UFC Max Fight Pick. It includes the UFC Max Fight Pick. So next week, the next time he's got a UFC Max Fight Pick, you will receive one. A Max Fight Pick is not a Fight Pick of the year. They are completely separate. Always have been. That's like saying my Game of the Week or Game of the Year, is the same. Or Guaranteed Saturday and a Game of the Year on the same day. They're completely different. Dizzy's in the house. Everybody welcome our brother Dizzy. Dizzy is in the house. I almost hit the clown noise. We don't want to do that. Gotta give Dizzy a round of applause. What's good, Kyle? Just wanted to stop by my plays today. The Miami Hurricanes first half laying 1 in full game -3. Wake Forest and Louisville over 66.5, and the Mavs laying 10.5. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope all is well, and the seasons are treating you prosperous. But yeah, Joseph, the only way to get the fight pick of the year, there's only one way to get it, and that's to purchase it. But I'll be honest, you can't go wrong with a 3x3 today. You can't go wrong with the combo package today because you'll get premium plays, you'll get my personal plays, you get Guaranteed Saturday. Speaking of Guaranteed Saturday, if you guys are not on Guaranteed Saturday today, it may be a good day to get on it. You're welcome, Dizzy. It may be a good day to get on it today. It is definitely going to be a good one. But I'm just trying to help y'all out and put extra money in your guys' pocket. Because there is a lot of money to be made today in what we put out as a company. All right, let me check out these people's accounts that had issues real quick. Marco, if you're watching, you're good to go, brother. And I had to reply to that text, and then we'll be good to go. All right. We're going to take a look at this last breakdown. By the way, FC is he's in the room. Not in this room, but he's in, I don't know where he's at, but he is logged in as a guest. Oh, wow, I'm getting pretty snazzy. See what he doesn't know. He's waiting for us. He is waiting for us. He doesn't know what's going on. But he's patiently waiting for us. And we'll bring him on after this next game day breakdown. Maybe we'll catch him picking his nose. I'll put it right up on the screen. Would definitely be funny. Poor guy. Poor guy always gets made. I mean, I get it. It definitely, you know, gotta suck to be getting picked on all the time. Robert says, morning, Kyle. I'm feeling you today. Going to get that deal in slam to make the money. We're definitely going to. Ross Pitt says, I did take Wake laying 3, just so you know. Good to know, good to know, good to know. And we're going to jump into that last game day breakdown. South Alabama, Arkansas State. The poll numbers are rolling in. You guys are doing great on the poll numbers. By the way, if you haven't already commented or selected what your best bet between South Alabama and Arkansas State would be, do it now. And then in the comment section where you guys are definitely lacking, post what your best bet for that game would be. Are you the one that selected South Alabama laying the 9, or are you one of the poll leading individuals that selected Arkansas State plus the 9? The total is pretty split evenly at 14 and 10% for the over towards the under. So post up in the comment section what you're rolling with there. And if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up button while we jump into this game day breakdown. As I said, the line on this one has Arkansas State at home catching 9, South Alabama laying 9 on the road with a total over and under 52 points. You got South Alabama as the 9-point favorite. They're 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the spread. They're going to be going up against 2-6 Arkansas State, who has been a covering machine all season long at 6-2 against the spread. All right? If you wanted to make money this year, all you had to do was bet Arkansas State and you'd be up 4 games. Some people have, entered this week in college football and they're down a lot of money. Keep watching the live show. Hold on. This is oh, never mind. It was a flattering side of FC I was getting ready to throw up on the screen, but he decided to change the angle he was looking at. We were going to get him right there. I can only do that because he can't reach over and smack the shit out of me. Again, back to Arkansas State and their covering machine numbers. Now, they've lost 3 straight. Arkansas State has lost 3 straight. They've only covered 1 out of the last 3 games. But they opened up the year with 5 straight covers. All right? They opened up the year with 5 straight covers. And believe it or not, they're an over team. Arkansas State is 6-2 to the over, 6-2 against the spread. By the way, home teams are on a 5-1 against the spread run in this head-to-head matchup. Home teams are 5-1 against the spread in this matchup. This home team's catching 9 minus 105, which means you just take it at 9.5 minus $1.15. Arkansas State 7-1 to the under. Their last 8 games at home as an underdog of 10 or more points. This line has dropped. That stat came out before this line has dropped and moved. However you want to take that one. I just use those when top team trends come out and stuff like that. I use them with a grain of salt. All right, South Carolina. The last game that we broke down, we're not going to talk about that. I fucked that one up. I'm going to give it another little beep. Somewhere around here we got beeps because we're dropping F-bombs. South Alabama, game 157. South Alabama averaging 31.7 points per game in their high-flying offense. They're averaging 143 a game on the ground at 4 yards per carry and 286 in the air at 7.9 yards per passing attempt. All right? And then you take a look at Arkansas State, averaging 28.8 points per game. 28.8 points per game. They're averaging 106 a game on the ground at a measly and pathetic 2.9 yards per carry. They're also averaging 243 in the air, 7.4 yards per passing attempt. But where we really need to focus in on is the defenses. Who's going to give up the points? Is this game going over or is it going under? I mean, you got South Alabama that gives up just 19.7 points per game. You got Arkansas State that gives up the monster 31 number at 31.1. They're also giving up 148 in the air, 148 on the ground, 4 yards per carry, as well as 261 in the air with a monster 9 yards per passing attempt. Arkansas State is giving up 9 yards per passing play. All right, that'll definitely help out South Alabama to move the ball down the field, as their run and pass plays are pretty even. They're 36 apiece for South Alabama. When you take a look at South Alabama's defense, they're giving up just 19.7 points per game. They're holding teams to 100 yards rushing a game at 3.1 yards per carry, as well as their secondary giving up just 219 in the air, holding teams to a low 6.9 yards per passing attempt. Turnovers. Both are in the plus categories. One's got a winning record, the other's got a losing record. And they're both in the plus categories of turnovers. And my coffee is still empty. Arkansas State, +2 in the turnover department. South Alabama, +8. 6 turnover advantage towards South Alabama, but they're both in the plus categories. Arkansas State, 9-1 against the spread, versus an opponent who's coming off a game of playing Troy. Interesting top team trend right there. Now, as far as where the money lies on this one, it doesn't really matter where the public is betting. All that matters is where you're betting. It don't matter where the quote, sharp money is, all right? None of that really matters. All that matters is where you're going to put your dollar and you make sure you put it on a gosh darn winner. That's all that matters. All that matters is you put it on a gosh darn winner. As far as this game goes, let's take a look at our trend, all right? In our poll numbers, say Arkansas State +9 is the place to be. Arkansas +9 is the place to be. 46% of the straw poll numbers say Arkansas State +9 is their best bet. And then the over 52 and under 52 come in very even Steven at 17%. So what we're going to do, we're going to do another poll. All right? We're going to do another poll. Of the total between South Alabama and Arkansas State. It was pretty even Steven in the chat. So here's where we break it down, because it's no longer your best bet for this game. If you had to choose, if you were in a guillotine by FC, it probably wouldn't be a pleasant one, and you had to choose over and under, and your livelihood depended on it, do you roll with the over or do you roll with the under? Remember, an under is an instant winner until it goes over. When you bet an under, you're a winner until it goes over. But it's more fun to root for points. That it is. So post up in the comment section. We've already got 10 votes, and it's split 60-40, 6-4, favoring of the over 52. But, I mean, literally a couple votes changes that one. So curious to see where you guys all lie. Joseph, thanks for jumping on board. Fight pick of the year as well. FC will be definitely appreciative of that one. And I know the man, the myth, the legend is waiting patiently to come on and talk to you guys about what to expect in the UFC. And he has been a spaz all week long about this fight pick of the year. Kyle, you got to bet it, man. Kyle, you got to go big. You got to bet it like you bet Major League Baseball. You got to try and put 50K on it. You got to try and put 100K on it. I mean, this one is going to be the big one. I mean, he has been running around literally like a chicken with his head cut off. And he's been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I got a big one coming. I got a big one coming. It's brewing. Just wait. Just wait. Don't you fucking go on vacation, Kyle, because you're going to want to bet this one. Mm-hmm. I'm here. I'm here, fucker. And I'm ready. And I know you guys are as well. All right, so poll numbers are separating themselves. 69% are rolling with the over, 31% with the under in the South Alabama and Arkansas State game. Now, some of you guys may ask, hey, Kyle, what do you guys like? Some of you may not even give a rat's ass what I like. I mean, some of you guys may be just thinking, like, But some of you may actually want to know where I like or what I like on this one. As far as this game goes, I mean, you got South Alabama. They're a winning team. They're 5-2 straight up. They get the job done. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games. However, they have not covered 3 straight. They were 0-3 in their last 3 games. They're 2-1 to the under in their last 3 games. Arkansas State has covered only 1 of their last 3 games. 1 of their last 3 games. Louisiana Lafayette put the beat down on them 38-18. Southern Miss barely beat them 20-19. You can go back in the Louisiana Lafayette game and you can see that South Alabama beat Louisiana Lafayette in Louisiana 20-17. You could take a look at the Louisiana Monroe game. South Alabama struggled to actually make that a distinctive beatdown. They barely beat them by a touchdown. 41-37. That game went over the total. Arkansas State against Louisiana Monroe. Arkansas State beat them, 45-28. They had a total of 59 in that one. That one under. That one went over by a country mile, and they covered the spread because they were a 7.5-point favorite, and they beat them down. Ross says, I'm not touching this one. I think we see points. Both offenses combined average 60.5 points. Not 65, 60.5. 60.5 points per game combined. Both defenses are giving up what? 50.8 points combined. We get a total over and under 52. I lean towards the over. If you guys need another game to bet, lean towards the over. This might be a teaser opportunity where you add it into a 10-point teaser or 13-point super teaser. But I do like them on the over today. As far as the dog, I like the dog here. I do like the dog. Let's see what FC is up to. By the way, still got time to get on that Bellator card and get the max fight pick free and make it worth your while. $29.99 for the Bellator card will get you the max fight pick. By the way, the ending of our poll, 73% of you said the over 27. 26% said the under. 1% for error. Can't have an error in this one. But yeah, we'll have it. Now, we're going to completely shift gears here. All right, we're going to completely shift gears. And we're going to try and have some fun. And we're going to try and continue to make some more money. For all you. And we're going to bring on the man, the myth, the legend himself. Dr. Nine Digits himself. See if we can't do this right with the audio the first time. And everybody, if you guys get a double echo, please post in the comment section and I'll adjust it. But everybody give a big warm welcome for Dr. FC himself. The man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, brother? And we got no audio from FC. Try now. Welcome to the show. You're dead in the water. Every time. Nothing from the man. Dr. Nine Digit says, give him a second. We'll give him about 10, and then we're going to go to our janitor, who will talk UFC, if he can't get his microphone.
Are you there?
Oh, the man is here. Give him a warm welcome.
Okay. We got contingency plans today, baby. We got plans B, C, and D. Let's go.
What'd you say?
I said we got contingency plans today, baby. We got plan B, D, and C. We'll go back to the wired headphones if we need to. We got to get on it today. No. Hey, I haven't slept all night, man. I haven't slept all night. I'm still, look at these eyes. I probably haven't slept in 3 days, if I'm being honest. Like, if I'm being completely honest, we're talking about like 3 days. See?
That's too much information.
It's true, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for today. We got Bellator going on right now, and dude, today is gonna be a good day. I'm looking at the slate, and I'm gonna get in trouble for printing money. That's how bad it's gonna be. I'm telling you, man.
Did you say printing money?
We're right now. Yeah, printing money, man. I'm telling you right now, Bellator, we're on a crazy run with the Max Fight Pick. I love this one, and then swinging on to the UFC. I love that whole card. There's so many times that people have like a big play, and then they all they do is they focus on that, and they leave all the other stuff fall to the wayside. I went ahead and just put it into overdrive. I said we're gonna have a tight set when it comes to both these cards. We're gonna make sure that we have a solid Bellator Max Fight Pick, and I put in probably quadruple the time just because I knew that we had a big play. And last week our Max Fight Pick was Islam Makhachev. I was a 9 out of 10. Right? Confident. It had to be a 10 out of 10. I knew that these back-to-back weeks were going to happen. I told you, just wait. You like that one? Just wait. We got one this week. And I'm telling you guys, it's good. It's going to be good. I'm excited. I'm like a fat kid with some cake. I don't know. I'm just excited.
You just call yourself a fat kid with cake?
Yeah, you know. Self-deprecation. I'm all into it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and I can even see people talking this time. Yeah, the write-up for this
very quiet.
Fight Pick of the Year is like over 1,000 words. Oh, I am?
Say that again.
I said the Fight Pick of the Year has over like 1,000 words in it. I got to see both fighters in training camp. I got to visit both fighters this week. As you know, the event's in Vegas. So, yeah, I got to a lot of work went into it. Like I said, 1,000 words just on the write-up for the Max Fight Pick. And there's a few other things in there, and it details everything out. So if you've never bet MMA before, it doesn't matter. You're looking for a bet. This is going to tell you how to bet it, and it's going to give you some insight on what you're going to see. And then if you read it and you're watching it, you're going to be like, damn, I can't believe this stuff is boom, boom, boom. He's hitting all the points, and it's going to be good, man.
I mean, sounds like it's going to be great. I mean,
yeah, man.
I'm excited. I don't know how people wouldn't be excited. I mean, this card is awesome. You've been jazzed up for I don't know how long about this, ranting and raving about just how big this is, and I mean, you got me excited. So it takes a lot for a bet
man,
to get me excited.
I know how many videos that I said into the company this week. I was like, let me get on. I got to get on. I got to tell them about it. I got something. Dude, this week has been crazy. I've been, like I said, been putting in crazy amount of work, and it's going to happen. And I mean, the card in and of itself is a decent card. I know a lot of people are shitting on the card and saying like, oh, this is a tough week for betting. No, it's not. I don't see it that way at all. If you guys like underdogs, guess what? We got underdogs. If you guys like favorites, we got slight favorites, and we got some favorites on there as well. So, I mean, there's everything to be had when these lines are close and you have the information that we have. It's good. We can go ahead and see that a plus 120 is going to be a winner. We can go ahead and see like last week, we didn't necessarily, we couldn't pinpoint that Sean O'Malley was going to 100% win that, right? But we knew that he was going to bring it close. I mean, he was plus 200 in the write-up. It was like plus 500. Those are the kind of things that we make sure to pinpoint. But this week, you can sort of see the fights that are like plus 120. I can see why a typical person that all they do is bet favorites or all they do is bet underdogs is getting nervous, because some of these fights are close. And that's why it's vital to have the information that we have and to have the insider scoop when it comes down to what's going on in the camp. Or like Jared Van Der, for instance, not a lot of people know, it's gone a little bit under the radar, but he completely switched camps to King's MMA. He's been getting his ass kicked at King's MMA for the past 6 weeks almost. And the guy has grown tremendously. Many people are writing him off in this fight that's coming up. And I don't necessarily, I can see why they're writing him off. His last 2 fights weren't great at all. He'd be winning a fight. His fight IQ is a problem. He'll be winning a fight, and all of a sudden he'll go to the ground with someone that's a grappling expert and get submitted. He'll be knocking some dude out and then take him down just to give him back life and get knocked out in the 3rd round. That's the kind of stuff he does. So Rafael Cordero is the coach over there at King's MMA. He's been working with Jared, getting them, and he got to see some other people as well, like Verdum, and got to roll with some of those people and get his confidence up when it comes down to his wrestling and rolling. So I'm expecting a little bit of a different Jared Van Der for this fight. We don't have a bet on there, but I did like the over 1.5. You got to think about it. Jared Van Der is thinking about this in the long term. He doesn't want to get this done in the 1st round. He wants to get this done in the 2nd round. The problem that I have with that is that his opponent is green, super raw, 100% striker. If Jared Van Der gets this to the ground, I can see a submission being there for him. He's a black belt and BJJ. So we just stayed away from it. But I mean, the kid, Jared Van Der, has a chance. And so these fights, there's a ton of these fights where if you know the information, if you know, like I know why he left King's MMA. He left King's MMA because the training partners here are in Vegas at the time. The training partners weren't necessarily helpful to him. They didn't give a shit. They didn't care. Some of them would schedule that they would come in for him, and then they wouldn't come in to train with him. So he was training on his own. He was shadow boxing half the time. And he said, you know what? I got to take this seriously. And that's the reason why he went to King's MMA. So you can sort of see the mindset now behind an individual who's on a crazy losing streak and is trying to change that. And so that's sort of the information you get with these write-ups. And I try to make it brief and poignant for you guys. So I'll talk about one fighter and then another fighter and then the conclusion. In that conclusion, I'll put in there some extra stuff. So if I tell you put a sprinkle on Rafael Sunsao by decision, even though it's plus 550, I know it hit. I know it's a nice hit for us. So, I mean, those sort of things are important. And then when I say, it's a 50-50 fight, it's a 50-50 fight. Maybe you should just sit back and watch it, Sorry, I'm extraordinarily excited. Get on this fight pick of the year. I don't know what you guys are waiting for.
So, earlier, you kind of hinted that if you want underdogs, we got underdogs. You brought up the topic of underdogs, and I am going to tell you, you got a lot of underdogs on this card.
Yeah. See, that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like,
and here's what I want to know. Now I'm going to start picking your brain, and I know this is where you get mad at me. Yada, 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 yada. And it's not specific or anything like that. But can we talk about the Arlovsky fight? I like him.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, Arlovsky's made us a ton of money. We've bet Arlovsky. We've bet Arlovsky when he was a plus 140 underdog, but instead of going that route, we ended up going the route of Arlovsky by decision at plus 265 or plus 260. And that's how dominant betting that has been. Because if you bet Arlovsky by decision, you are up crazy money. We have constantly bet that. If you look at our bet, and if you look at our bets and when Arlovsky fights, Arlovsky by decision is almost an automatic one, except for this one. It's not going to be automatic this time because he's going in his last fight. I noticed something. Arlovsky looked a little slow and he was getting hit a lot more than normal. And he was huffing and puffing. I've seen Arlovsky live. He'll huff and puff in between round 2 and 3. This guy was huffing and puffing in the first round. So now I'm starting to think, man, is that age finally catching up? He went ahead and turned the corner. He put a lot into this camp, and I can see the work, but I'm also seeing the regression. And then you have De Lima, who is a striker, a kickboxer. What he's looking to do is he's going to hit Arlovsky in the legs, and then he wants to swing big bombs. If he can't get Arlovsky out of there in the first round, I'm talking about like a first round knockout, he's going to go to the grappling. And you're going to see this fight probably go over because he knows that he doesn't have a gas tank. And so he doesn't want to, he wants to pace himself. And then that's why a lot of times you'll see some of these 3-round, third-round finishes. So sometimes in our write-ups, you'll see, we'll bet this fighter by the third round, because what a fighter will do is they'll pace themselves, and then they'll go all out in the third round because they had some gas left. De Lima's that way. He'll go ahead and pace himself in the second round. He'll look like a world beater in the first, but if you don't go down, he's going to slow down his fight. And so that's what he's looking to do. He's got two ways to win. He's got the knockout, right? And then he's got the potential to hump him the whole night, to just get on him and stay heavy. Arlovsky's going to try to work his way up, but what does that do? It tires you out. We know both guys have bad gas tanks. Arlovsky has worked on his better this camp, but man, I'm thinking De Lima's going to get a knockout. Arlovsky hasn't been knocked out in a long time. I know it sounds super disrespectful. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I love the guy. If he heard me saying this, he'd slap the shit out of me. I mean, he literally crossed my face. He's a good guy, but yeah, and he doesn't play. That boy does not play. You cannot play games with him. He's great. But yeah. Arlovsky by decision is not going to be the route we go this fight. We are looking at De Lima by maybe KO, and yeah, that's the route. I don't even think Arlovsky has that big of a chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't like your opinion, but that's only because I'm a fan of him. But no, you guys heard it there. I mean, the guy's just, I'm trying to pick his brain and feed you guys information. Now, without me saying, bring it. Actually, no, I'm going to bring up another one. Let's talk about the Means and Griffin fight. Go ahead. Let's talk about it. I know you probably don't want to, but, let's discuss it.
It's just funny because you pick. I don't have many favorites on this card that I'm like a lot. But on this fight, I actually like the favorite, surprisingly. But when it comes down to it, Tim Means is another one who's getting old, man. I didn't like the way he looked in his last fight. I saw it very close up. You could see that the age is starting to get to him. But at the same time, in the gym, he looks like a world beater. Now, I wonder sometimes if that's because he garnishes a lot of respect in the gym. And so these young guys that do come in and test him and are pushing him don't necessarily try to knock him out because they revere him in a way. This is Tim Means. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I kind of wonder what his camp situation's like. When a person is a god in their camp, you kind of have to wonder if they're getting the right work, even though they're telling you all the right things. Even though you're seeing that they're putting in the right work, you got to know their training partner, and also is that training partner holding back? You have to have observed that training partner a week ago to see if is that training partner injured or hurt, or do they have an agreement? No body shots this sparring session. And so where Tim Means is weak, he'll never expose it to anyone. So those are sort of the things you have to start wondering when you start looking at Tim Means. And then you have Max Payne Griffin on the other side, who is a wrestler at heart, but the guy's just falling in love with his hands. It's just, it is what it is. You get a knockout, and it's one of those things that your whole body just, it electrifies you. All the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, and it's like the crowd goes nuts, and at that moment that you're the fucking man. You know what I'm saying? So he got that in his head and then just stopped wrestling. He just doesn't wrestle anymore. He goes in there to swing big. So he's looking to knock out Tim Means in the first round. Tim Means is looking to, whenever Max closes the distance, Tim wants to use his tools well. So Tim wants to clinch up. He wants to use his elbows. He wants to use his knees. He wants to push him up against the fence and really wear on Max Griffin because he thinks Max is a gasser. I do see a path of victory for Tim Means. I really like Max Griffin, though, at the end of the day. I think Max Griffin comes out here and takes him out. At the weigh-ins, this was almost a bet, but at the weigh-ins, I saw something that took me completely off when I saw Max and I got to talk to him afterwards. I didn't like something, so I won't necessarily disclose that. But so we ended up getting off of it. We ended up just saying, hey, look, let's just enjoy it. But I think even in the write up, I say, man, Max was almost like right there. He was almost a pick. So
Now, what do you like on this card?
well, I mean, look, if you look, there was only one.
Besides, hold on, let me rephrase that.
You,
Besides your fight pick of the year, obviously,
okay.
where's something that you like that's sleepy? Let's talk about something sneaky and sleepy here. And then I'm going to read some of the comments, and we're going to poke a little fun, and we're going to have some fun. But let's talk about something that maybe other people might be missing when they're from the outside looking in.
This one's hard because I really structured it. Like I told you at the beginning. Yeah. Okay. No crickets. That's a long ass cricket. No. But like I was saying, I structured this card to where I didn't think there was any meat left on the bone. Like I tried to pick the best of the best, and so it's really hard to see that. I mean, there's some things that I like, but man, they're on the. If I didn't put it on there, they're on the verge. I mean, I think that DeLima can he win a decision? That could be a sneaky play. I think even though I do favor him to get the knockout, I think him by decision is a sneaky play. Outside of that, I mean, we talked about Jared Vandera, and then we have a lot of bets on this card. I mean, the Joseph Holmes, Jun Young Park fight, it's not necessarily juicy, but I do see Jun Young Park taking this to decision. I know a lot of people are on this under. A lot of people see this under, and they think, hey, it's going to be plus money. And I can see why. Joseph Holmes is a younger guy fighting out of Glory MMA with James Krause, and he's learning every time. These young guys, when they get in the cage, they make these crazy leaps. That's why it's important for us to see what they look like in a camp, because they'll come into one fight look like dog water, and then the next fight look like a world beater. I mean, one fight they're an amateur, and the next fight they're GSP. And it's because I don't know what it is, but when they're younger, they learn quicker. Their bodies can do things better. So he's one of those people, and James Krause is pumping as much information as he can into him, and he's getting it. Now, what he's looking for is a submission. Joseph Holmes by submission, that's what he's been pushing for. He throws this straight right hand that he's going to be looking for. He thinks Park is neglectful of his head movement, so he wants to take that on. The problem is that Park is tiny compared to Holmes. Holmes is going to have a crazy height and reach advantage, and he's going to try to make that count. And so I think Park ends up getting this to the ground and staying out of the submissions. And I think Park by decision, it was almost a bet. I think I even put it in there as like, hey, Park by decision is one of those things that I like. But at the end of the day, I saw some things out of Holmes that I was like, man, I mean, he's locking up some submissions on some really good people. Park is defensively sound when it comes to submissions, but he has been submitted in the past. If you can hurt Park, you can submit him. That's why I think if you look at some of the fights this week, I ended up going inside the distance instead of, even though I know this person only has one submission on their record and the likelihood of them getting a submission is very slim, I liked it inside the distance because these guys are starting to hit people and people are going down but not out, and then they just grab up a neck because it's easier. It's part of their training. It's right there. So Holmes by submission is intriguing, but in the end, I ended up going with Park by decision in the write-up on what I liked.
I like it. Now, another thing that I want to touch on. Somehow I'll get this screen figured out. And we're blank. There we are. There we're all both on the screen. What I want to talk about, and I'm really digging, but before we get to it, I just want to say, everybody's a huge fan of yours, and they love what you do, and they absolutely love these mile-long write-ups. I think Anthony said he fell asleep. Mm-hmm. It took so long. It was like reading a novel, but it was very informative. And he didn't fall asleep because it bored him. It just literally took him that long. Alex says it was the longest write-up he's ever read in the history of write-ups in anything in the world. It was actually shorter than putting together a Murphy bed. The write-up was a lot shorter than the instructions for installing a Murphy bed, but no glue needed, so that's definitely a plus. Rich wants to see the missing digit, not the fake prosthetic. He wants to see the missing digit. He says, did he miss FC showing us the missing digit? And
so right there,
Alex
right there, you see
says
the
to
line?
wake him up when you're done because you're long-winded like your write-ups. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So yeah, there's the digit.
we do appreciate you coming on. And what I want to know, and we're going to really dig deep here, and we're really going to push your buttons because, I mean, you giving away free stuff is like insane during the ride. Like if you buy the card, you give these guys so much free shit inside the cards, it's insane.
Yeah.
But when it comes to giving them free stuff in the live show, you are one of the tightest, cheap individuals in the world. So I'm going to pull it out of you. I'm like this right here, all right? We're pulling it out of you. And what I want to know, in the Weems and Rodriguez fight, either you can do the honors or I will, but I say we give away that fight to everybody. What do you say?
I mean, I'm good with it. The reason why I'm so tight-lipped is because there is a lot of information, and sometimes it's hard to get through everything. And then on top of that, I mean, when we started here, I get paid by the company, right? At the end of the day, I wanted if it was up to me, I'd give everything out for free if I could, but it's not up to me, right? So I made sure that everything was extraordinarily affordable. I was like, I won't do it unless it is. And so right now, all this stuff is super affordable, and what you get for it is a crazy amount of write-ups, and you get all those extra bets, but you also get an insight into how to bet. That people always wonder why we do strong leans and leans, because sometimes we do pick a plus 900 underdog, and yes, we've hit those before, but sometimes we do pick that, and it's not about going out there and putting your whole bankroll on that plus 900. So I got to let you know, like, hey, we're going to put a little bit on there, right, on that one, but this minus 110, that's going to be the big one this week. So our system is tight, and it's built to be that way. And I mean, people, when they pay for the write-ups, I just feel like that's what they're paying for. So when I get on here, I'm like, I hold back because I'm like, oh, but all these people paid this crazy amount of money for all this great information. So I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted, but in this fight, Joshua Weems is coming in on a week's notice, guys. I mean, the line when it first came out, I bet it. It was minus. I think I got it like minus 160 on Christian Rodriguez. I think that's right. I don't have it up in front of me, but I got it, and that line ballooned for a reason. I mean, this guy Weems is coming in on a week's notice. He's a pretty decent fighter, and he's going to put up a good fight, but he's got a really suspect chin. And Rodriguez, I really rate him, man. He's a good little fighter. He's a good kid. He's growing. He's another one of these guys like Joseph Holmes who's growing. I mean, every time I see him, I mean, the guy's hitting pads harder. He's doing things better. He's tighter. I mean, it's just there's a lot of things there to like. And so I went, and I'll give the bet is Christian Rodriguez wins inside the distance. That's going to be at minus 155. I think that hits in the first round, but the second, this guy Weems doesn't necessarily. He can be tough. There's some of these fighters that you punch them and you got to hit that right button, but the second you hit it, they're out like a light, right? He's one of these guys that can fight tough for a little while, but I mean, he had a horrible weight cut on top of it. I mean, there's a lot of negatives going on for him. He did come in overweight. He did forfeit some of his purse. So there's you got to understand that there's a mentality that goes behind that. Like, he's going to go from start. He's going to try to wrap up something as fast as possible because he knows he doesn't have the gas. He knows he had a bad gas. He knows he has a bad gas tank. He knows he didn't have a full camp. On top of all that, he's got to give up 30%. I mean, he wants his full paycheck. He wants his show and he wants his show money and his win money, right? So he's going to go all out. He's going to go batshit crazy from the beginning, looking for a submission. That's what he wants. He's been working it all camp for the small camp that he's been working on, but he's been really, he went for one trick pony type thing, and he's like, I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit this one choke. I'm just gonna try to perfect it this week. I'm gonna get every variation. So if I get close to it, I got it. I'm gonna get it. So I don't think he gets it though. I think Christian Rodriguez comes out here and starches him in the first round. But I went ahead and I did do inside the distance because if you look at Christian Rodriguez, and I have spoken with him, the guy trains both arts really well when it comes down to ground and when it comes down to striking. He is going to look for a TKO in this, which is at plus money. I think it's last I saw it was like plus 2 something. And then, but the thing is like if he knocks Weems down, he's going to wrap up a neck. I know he is. He wants to get this win so bad. So instead of trying to go ahead and even though he told me TKO, his camp told me TKO, that's what he envisions, that's what he dreamt, that's what he sees. I just went ahead and inside the distance because I think there is a world where he could swing big, the guy goes down, and then he's on the neck. So, but the free play is Christian Rodriguez inside the distance, so I'll give that out for sure.
I like it. Now, I do have a question. When a fighter gets fined 30% of their purse for coming in over the weight limit, right? Now, are they getting fined on both their show and win money, or is it just the show money that they're giving up 30% on?
Okay, so the way the UFC used to work back in the day is you fight, you get knocked out, doesn't matter. You go to the back, there's a lady there who physically writes you a check, gives you a check. And then now they do things differently. Now they go ahead and they make sure they get the direct deposit stuff and they just direct deposit it in. The UFC ends up taking the hit on that 30%. They take it out of your purse before they even send it. It's on the whole thing. So if you win, it's whatever you made for that night because you're an independent contractor. So when I negotiated like 10 of these. When I negotiated these, I made sure to put in there that if the other fighter wins, I want his show and his win money. So, because there were times where we were fighting we're talking about people that made $100,000 and missed weight. I mean, I want 30% of that purse. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't care. I want 30%. I want 40. I remember one time I had this. I'll tell you who it is. It was Georgi Karakanian, and I have the videos and everything of him throwing up the middle finger at me because I ended up pushing for 40%. He's a vet. He should have been there. He should have made weight. So I pushed for 40%. We got the 40%. His manager still to this day hates me. He won't talk to me. He hates my guts. So that's why I have other people talk to him for me. But yeah, I mean, that stuff is crazy. And when a fighter loses 30% of their purse, when all they did was they spent money, every time the fighter goes into a camp, they're investing into themselves, or they lose money. They have to reimburse everyone. They usually do all that on credit. So they have that money already spent before they go in there and fight half the times, especially when you're only making 12 and 12, 12K to show up, 12K to win. That's nothing when you're only fighting once a year. So yeah, I negotiate those out. There are some managers and some fighters that don't have the wherewithal or they're not savvy enough to ask for it or to even ask that question. They just take the show money. But yeah, I always negotiated that out. At the end of the day, we're dealing with independent contractors and we're dealing with a huge company. So you can always negotiate anything. I always found that, and I always had a really great relationship with Dana White. So if there was ever anything that I felt I needed to push for, I could always go to him. I could always text him. I could always talk to him about it. So yeah, you gotta push for yourself. And so I always got everything. So.
Well, your knowledge is definitely key when it comes to this. And one day I'll get this damn screen correct here. Let's see here. Maybe there we go. Now we got both of us on there. So one last thing, and we're gonna let you go because I know Bellator is on and you're paying attention to that, and I can see you looking in the background trying to see what's going on. But I want to know.
And I'm getting
tell people one more thing. What do they need to do today? The floor is now yours one last time, brother.
Well, I'll tell you what, we still have a ton of fights in Bellator. So the Bellator Max fight pick is on a crazy run. I mean, there was a time where I think for a whole year, we didn't lose one from January until like November, the end of November, right? We go on these runs. We're known for going on these runs with Bellator. I have a really good relationship with the matchmakers at Bellator. So I would jump on the package right now to get the card because you're going to get really great bets. But if not, just get the max fight pick. If that's how you want to roll, get the Bellator max fight pick. And then if in the UFC, you got to get the card. When it comes to me, you have to know I am not here to make money off of anyone. I'm not here to, that's not what this is about. This is here to help you guys. And I put everything in there. It's tight. I'm telling you guys, when it comes down to bets, I tell you everything that a prognosticator can see with all the information I have. And out of that, we matriculate the best bets. And then on top of that, you have the best bet that I see for this year in the UFC. And that's our fight pick of the year. So I would get on the card. I would get on the UFC fight pick of the year. And I would make a ton of money. So.
Well, there you had it, folks. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's give him a huge, 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 huge round of applause. Oh. Just kidding. We'll give you the round of applause.
It's okay.
We do appreciate FC coming on and spending his day with us and spending his time with us. It's always good to have the brother from another mother on and take his time out of watching Bellator. And because, you know, if you've never seen a spaz while an event is going on, this guy is running around. Like him actually sitting in one spot during fights for as long as he's been on is a first. It's an
I'm holding it together
first.
right now.
Barely. This guy is usually pacing back and forth. It could be a stay away. And he's pacing, running around going, I told you that write-up was right. Kyle, did you read that write-up? I told you. By submission. In the second round. This guy is an absolute maniac when it comes to this stuff. So I'm actually very happy that we got him to sit down with us for 30 or 45 minutes, however long he was on, and he actually stayed in one place. He never even adjusted his seat, guys. Never even adjusted it. And look, he's still here with us. He's still here with us, right there. So we're greatly appreciative of him tuning in. We'll try and bring him back on live again, and we always like bugging him. But guys, we gave away the farm today. We gave you guys multiple free plays in college football, some leans that should be free plays. He gave away free juice in the fight card if you didn't purchase it. He also gave you a free play, the very first bet on the fight card. I pulled that one out of him. It's like pulling teeth, but we got it out of him. And guys, if you're not on board, get on board. The full fight card, a measly little $29.99 for everything that you get. And then on top of it, that fight pick of the year, it is $50. That is it. It comes around maybe once a year. There's going to be times where he just doesn't have a big one that he's willing to put his name and his reputation on the line for. All right, and he's over there nodding, going like this. All right, he's nodding, saying yes. He's doing that right now on camera. See, look, there it is a little bit. See? He's sitting in the background listening. All right? If you're not on it, go get on it. It's only $50 for this special one-off. And from what everybody's saying, the write-up by itself is like 1,000 words. All right? Detail-orientated, FC, bring in the heat. All right? And then on top of that, guaranteed Saturday. Guaranteed Saturday. You have until 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4:30 on the West Coast to get on board. 7:30, 4:30 to get on board. We sliced it in half because of everything that's going on this weekend, and it's such a busy weekend. Premium plays, personal plays. Buy 3 days. Get 3 days free. Fight pick of the year. And then guaranteed Saturday slashed in half. Only $75. Normally $150. And you'll still get that guarantee if we somehow fuck it up. No beefing. But there ain't gonna be no foo bars. It's gonna be a winner. And if you guys want to win, get on board. Because if you do, I promise you, today's the day. Personal plays are hot, premium plays are heating up, and I'm going to get my ass reamed for buy 3, get 3 free. So don't make me look like a fool. You guys asked for it, and we deliver. All right? And we deliver. So, let's have some fun. Let's make that money. And we'll be live again tomorrow morning at our normal time for the NFL break. And maybe we can get FC to come on and talk about the NFL tomorrow. I think we can. All right, folks, I am out. Enjoy your Saturday. As always, please, proper bankroll management. Bet within your means, not over your head. Doesn't matter what it may be. Guaranteed Saturday, a free play, or the fight pick of the flipping century. Bet within your means, folks. It's been fun for the last 2 hours. Now let's make some real money. All right, guys. Good luck, everybody. Wager